What up, what up, what up? Wow, I'm surprised there's even one person on here. Hey, just real quick, Instagram. I'm live on Instagram and on YouTube. Uh, can you guys hear me on Instagram? Just give me a quick. What are all you doing up at 3 a.m.? That's crazy, all you guys on Instagram. YouTube, it makes more sense, but can't hear me. How about now? Can you guys hear me now? What up, Carlito? Smash Lee, what up? Man, I'm seeing you guys at the beach all the time. And I live out here in Puerto Rico and I'm never at the beach. Carlito, you getting out of work? That's midnight over there. Yeah, it's midnight PST. PST? PCT? I don't know. Alright, what's up, YouTube? Daryl out, he's listening in and driving. My man is be grinding, absolutely grinding. You can hear the fans more. Let me move the fan. I don't even really need it. Hold on. Good thing I was wearing. Good thing I was wearing shorts. Um, how about now? Can you hear me better now? What up? What up? What up? Guys, I'm super excited. I'm live right now. Love you too, Carlito. Do, you guys gotta follow Carlito. He used to box with him back in the day, and now he's actually fighting. So it's really cool to watch. Two of my friends that I know from back in the day, him and my boy Bags, that uh, we used to rap together. Not like together, but everyone in Yonkers rapped together at one time or another. But now they both fight, like actual boxing fighting is really cool. They be winning too, so really dope. About the same. Here's some kind of static. Let me try it without the Let me just. Is this better? Even though it's Instagram, is this better? Even though it's just like out in the open and there's no headphones. I just know it. Let me get closer. Let me get closer. Same, no change. Well, that is interesting. Very interesting. Let me try plugging this in now. Maybe it's like a delayed trigger or something like that. Give me a sec. How about now? Has it changed? Has it changed? Hey, noteworthy differences. Thank you so much for buying a badge. You are the first person to ever buy a badge, uh, like ever on my Instagram. That's probably my fault because I never go live on Instagram. But yeah, thank you so much. How's the audio now on Instagram and guys on YouTube? Ha- said what an early time. Hold on, let me pull this up on my YouTube. Yeah, what an early time. So the reason that I'm going live at this time is because right now is when my book drops on Amazon. So Amazon is Amazon feeling spontaneous, thank you. Amazon is on Pacific Standard Time and yeah, so I just thought it was a good idea to go live at the exact time that what the heck? At that my book drops. So my my book is out, guys. Like it's out. The link for it is in my bio. Awesome, the audio is good. Thank you. The link for it is in my bio. If you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, the link for it. I'm gonna just why not just post it in there? Oh, why is it? No, not working. All right, give me one sec. The link for it is in the description on my YouTube, and now it is in the chat over there. All right, Smashley said, I found you from Cultish, chatted with them too. We have a YouTube channel too. A lot to relate with you. Congratulations on your book dropping. I'll check it out. Thank you so much, Smashley, and send me a direct link to your YouTube so I can check it out as well. Noteworthy, you have a podcast as well. Am I correct? By the way, while I'm waiting for answers, I'm just going to show. So the book is so new, I haven't even got my full copy yet. This is the fake copy that they give you to proofread it. So, by the way, for anybody who is ever thinking about writing a book, hire an editor, right? That was one of the best things that I ever did, was hire an editor. A good editor, right? Like, don't go cheap on an editor. And then order the copy so you can go through it physically in your hands. Because when I went through it physically in my hands, I found things like, just example right here. So there was a period in the middle of a sentence that just needed to be a comma. And that would have been nice to, I mean, it's really nice to have caught that. And the only reason I caught it is because it was in my hands. There's something about reading when it's physically in your hands that you notice things that you wouldn't necessarily notice if you're reading it online. So if you're ever thinking of writing a book, make sure before you put it out, you get the hard copy in your hands. So that way you can just, I've read my book like probably 14 times now, because of how many times we've had to edit it. Yeah, Noteworthy. I would love to come on your podcast. Shoot me a DM and we'll work that out. So, do you guys have any questions about the book? I know it's like I've been talking about it all the time. Hold on. So while I do agree a physical copy is a whole different experience, how long did it take you to write? So actually it took me about a year and change. It took me less than a year to write the actual book. Actually, no, I think it took about a year to write and research. So it was research and write. I was researching this stuff long before I ever started writing. So the research, I was kind of ahead of the game just because I was researching it for my own purposes and for helping my friends and you know, making YouTube videos, not YouTube, but like Instagram videos about the subject. So it was, I wouldn't say easy to write. It was definitely one of the hardest things that I've ever done is write a book. But it was easy to grab some of the information because I knew a lot about it already. But then I went down rabbit holes and I wanted to make sure, right? I double checked, triple checked, and like quadruple checked all the information that I put in the book. You should see how many revisions that I made just because I wanted to make sure that this quote was attributed to the correct person, or that you know, I'm talking about quantum physics. I wanted to make sure that I got quantum physics correct. I wanted to make sure that I got history correct. You know, all of this stuff. So it was definitely a process in writing it. But the whole project, I started writing in 2021. It's 2023. I finished writing the first draft the night before my wedding. Not the night before I got married. We got married, then we had the wedding. I got married like months before we actually had the wedding. But the night before our wedding, I was still writing the book. That I finished the first rough draft. So, you know, that was 2021, and now we are in 2023. So, yeah, it's a long process, but. And then, you know, there was ups and downs with a I was supposed to go with a publishing company, and then we went the route of just self-publishing. So it's been, like this. It's been crazy, doing all this stuff. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. What's up, YouTube? How's YouTube doing? This is Salvation says, exciting times, bro. I am excited. Like, excited and nervous, right? Because I'm a perfectionist. And in being a perfectionist, I I'm just like I've picked apart my book like 30 times. I read the quantum physics chapter like 60 times just to make sure that all my definitions are correct, and that because quantum physics is a deep discussion. There's so many different theories about it. So I just wanted to make sure that it was correct. Then so I have a chapter called false claiming, and in that chapter we go through a whole bunch of quotes that are attributed to people that don't actually belong to the people they're attributed to, and are misquoted or completely taken out of context. And that was a deep dive as well, finding all of these quotes, finding if they matched with these claims, and it was intense, definitely intense. So let me read the chat. Hold on. Noteworthy. Check out the EP on quantum physics computing with Mikio Kaku. Yeah, quantum computing, quantum theory. It's so bugged out, that stuff, and there's so many. So quantum physics, you can see what happens at the quantum level, but there's so many different interpretations of why these things are happening. So quantum physics is just really, really interesting stuff. Oh, on Joe Rogan. Yeah, Joe Rogan has a lot of interesting people on. Really interesting people. So let's go through just the chapters in my book. So the book is called Law of Attraction, a gateway drug to spiritual heroin. And the reason that I call it a gateway drug to spiritual heroin is because from my own experience and from witnessing this happen to my friends and colleagues and stuff, they'll get into the law of attraction. And the law of attraction, for those of you who don't know, it claims to be neutral, but it's actually a very spiritual thing. It's not neutral. It's rooted in spirituality. So they go down this rabbit hole of law of attraction stuff, and then when they're not attracting everything that they want, they end up looking for law of attraction hacks. And these hacks are always sold to you by some guru, selling you the answer to your problems. And depending on which guru you go to will depend on which answer you get for your problems. But there's always a price attached, and it starts as a small price, and then they sell you bigger and bigger and bigger, and then a year later, your whole entire house is full of crystals and meditation music at 440 hertz all day. Like you go down this rabbit hole of craziness and searching for spiritual highs and the ever-elusive title of enlightenment, and it can be dangerous. People have died in sweat lodge experiences. So we'll go through that. I'll get to that in a bit. So chapter 1 is called All In. Well, I have an introduction where it's called Slaps Forehead. It's got the little asterisk thing. But Just Lids. Yes, Just Lids. The book is available now on Amazon. It dropped right now, right when we went live. So chapter 1 is called All In, Baby. And I was just describing how into the law of attraction I was. I did some weird stuff. So I was in a company in which, to hit the top level of the company, you needed 3,000 customers. I did really good. Really good. I got to top 1% of that company, but I never got to the tippity top, right? And you needed 3,000 customers. I had a little over half of that. So anyway, I literally drew out all three. I had a mural on my wall, a visualization mural, and I drew out all 3,000 customers in a binary system. And if you don't know what a binary system is, it's It's you have two teams. You build one team, build another, and it goes in a binary fashion. But this is all deep network marketing stuff. So anyway, I drew it all out, and I would like visualize my team growing to that, and I tricked myself into thinking that could actually um, make me be successful, when I really you just need to put in the work. But anyway, so that's chapter 1, and then chapter 2 is called Like a Rock Concert. And the reason it's called Like a Rock Concert is because that's how I was invited to church. For those of you who don't know, I was an agnostic, borderline atheist. I've played with the idea of God. I played with the idea of God in life. I like the aesthetics of God, like, angels versus demons and this stuff. I thought it was very artistic, and since I was a musician, it was very artsy to me. But as far as rooted in reality, I didn't really fully believe that. And then I eventually got to a place where I was very hostile towards Christianity. I thought it was crazy. So anyway, I got invited to church, and how I got invited was somebody said it would be like a rock concert. And so I was like, oh, that sounds cool. So I went to it, and so that's why that chapter is called Like a Rock Concert. Now, chapter 3 is called Satan Equals Bad. And the reason why it's called Satan Equals Bad is just because Satan is bad. That's one of the reasons. But another reason being, when I dug into the spiritual roots and the beginnings of the law of attraction philosophy, and realized that it wasn't just a philosophy and it was not science, but it was actually spiritual. When I peeled back all the layers, I got to people like Aleister Crowley, Phineas Quimby, who pretty much started the New Thought movement. I just heard something in my kitchen. Pretty much started the New Thought movement. Then you peel it back even further, and you get Helena Blavatsky, who is an open Luciferian. And you peel it back even further, you get to Aleister Crowley, and just the spiritual implications of this worldview goes all the way back to Satanism. And this isn't like me being sensational and saying, oh, be careful, it goes back to Satanism. Ooh, no. One of the women who helped push this movement forward, she had a magazine titled Lucifer. Like, that was her magazine title. So when I discovered all that stuff, I was like, wow, that's crazy. So go into details on that. Then chapter 4 is titled Surely You Will Not Die, right? And so in this chapter, we dig into the science behind it, some of the science, because I got 2 chapters on science. So the scientific claims of the law of attraction, and mostly the pantheistic worldview and panentheistic worldview that this stuff lies in. And then also digging into the first lie ever pretty much told in history, which was the first lie in the Garden of Eden, that the serpent told Eve that she could be like God in knowing good and evil, right? So that's why it's titled that. Then we have number 5, chapter 5. It's called the Gossip chapter. So the Gossip chapter is where I dig into the law of attraction business industry, and I dig into some of the top people in that industry, and I dig into some of the shady things that they've done. I dig into how people have actually died at some of these seminars, and died because they believed the law of attraction so much that they refused cancer treatment. So I go in on that stuff right there. Really eye-opening stuff. That chapter was one of the catalysts for writing the book. Then I have chapter 6, which is called False Claiming, and this is when they attribute quotes and people of the past, like prominent figures of the past. They claim that they all practiced the law of attraction and that Jesus was a millionaire and all this stuff. So, we dig into that. Then we have chapter 7 is called the Wu-Tang Clan. And it's about quantum physics, which is like, I call the fake science, I call it woo-woo. So I called that chapter the Wu-Tang Clan. And in it, you get initiated into the Wu-Tang Clan, in which we dive into quantum physics, so you can be equipped to understand when these new age gurus are talking about quantum physics. You will now know that many of them have no idea what they're talking about, and they act like they know what's going on, right? So then we have the next chapter is titled, "Does this make any actual sense?" So the law of attraction fails the laws of logic on pretty much every level. And in this chapter, we go through different scenarios of how, if the law of attraction is true, because they claim that the law of attraction is a law in the way that gravity is a law. So gravity, in being a law, the reason we call things laws is because we know that if we create the circumstances for those laws to come into fruition, they're going to come into fruition 100% of the time. Prime example is just gravity. If an apple falls from a tree, it falls to the ground. It doesn't float to the sky. It doesn't go side to side unless, you're in a tornado or something. But it doesn't do any of that. So if it's a law, it's because it happens every single time. So we dig into how the law of attraction cannot be a law, because a law is correct 100% of the time, and we bring some scenarios where it can't be correct. Chapter 9 is called The Carrot at the End of the Guru Stick. So what I noticed after I dug into all of this stuff was that all these people do is dangle a carrot at the end of a stick for you to chase. It's like they strap it to your back and you have the carrot dangling in front of you, and you're kind of just chasing after it your whole entire life, and you never catch it, and they don't want you to catch it. Because if you ever caught the carrot at the end of the guru stick, you will no longer be in their sales funnel. So, yeah, pretty heavy stuff, right? Then chapter 10 is spiritual heroin, in which we discuss how you kind of just go down this rabbit hole of chasing spiritual high after spiritual high. And we dig into how dangerous that can be. Then we have a chapter 11 called Faith Fentanyl, in which the law of attraction and its new age and satanic roots are infiltrating the church at a high level. They're really digging in, right? Then we have chapter 12, which is the final chapter. It's a short book, only 200 pages, and it's called Spiritually Drug Free. And we discuss how, if you've been involved in this stuff, how do you get out? Why should you get out? And when you get out, what should you get into, right? And so that's pretty much it. And then we have the about author thing. I could not stand writing the about author part. Been talking so much, my throat hurts. Couldn't stand writing the about author part. And my editor and formatter, every time I sent her an about author, she's like, "No, John, you have to actually put stuff. You have to actually put stuff in it. You can't just say that you're an author. You got to put stuff." Hey, thank you so. I wish I could highlight this, but Just Lids, thank you so much for purchasing the book. I truly, truly appreciate it. I'm like blown away by the fact that I even have a book out. But yeah, guys, so if you're listening right now, or maybe you see this playback of this recording, just when you purchase the book, right, try to purchase it like this week, because that can help me get on the best sellers. So the more people who purchase it today, the more sales that come in within a 24-hour period, the higher up I get chances of being on the best sellers list. And that would be really cool. Really, really, really cool. Mary said, "Was waiting to watch this and I nodded off. Sorry." Congratulations, John. I'm telling you, the whole getting up at 3 a.m. thing sounded like a really good idea at the time. And then when my alarm went off at 2:30, I was like, who thought of this? And then couldn't blame anybody but myself. But anyway, yeah, definitely do that. And if you leave if you leave a review, right, that helps me a lot. Even if you just leave a review that says, "Wow, just bought the book, super excited for it. I've been waiting for this," or something like that. It kind of I think it helps. I don't know how this Amazon thing works, but I'm pretty sure that it helps. So yeah, and then after you read it, definitely go read a review, like take pictures of the book when you get it, post it, all that stuff. I don't have like some big marketing budget or some big marketing plan for it. Pretty much just going off word of mouth. So anything you guys do help. If you see a cool quote in the book and you're like, wow, that's a good quote, take a picture, post it on your Instagram story, tag me, I'll repost it. Yeah, all that helps, guys. All of the resharing and all of the reposting and telling people about the book. If you're reading the book, I don't want you to tell people about it if you're not enjoying it. But if you read the book and it gives you value, then share it with people. Tell people. I truly believe that people need to hear this stuff because they get trapped in this law of attraction craziness. They get trapped in it and then they're stuck in it for so long and it's ridiculous. So yeah, that's that. All the way from South Africa, looking forward to reading this book. Wow. I'm just excited that the book is making it to South Africa. I had an order come in. One's from Singapore, and one was from Australia for the pre-orders. And I'm like, one, I'm super excited, but two, I was like, I probably shouldn't have put free shipping for, for those orders, but it is what it is, man. I'm so excited for it, and man, that's why the internet and social media, it can be really, really helpful. It's something that I can't stand sometimes, but to reach people with projects that you're working on, books, or most importantly, reach people with the Word of God, it's been such a good tool to do that. And I've met so many awesome people through social media, other Christian content creators, and just people. I've met so many cool people through the internet. So yeah. Well, guys, do you have any questions about the book before before we continue? I'll give it a pause. I'm going to tell you this. I am surprised that there are 3 people on my Instagram live right now at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm surprised that there are 7 people on YouTube right now at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's bananas to me that you guys are up at this hour. Now, I know you guys are different time zones. South Africa is a completely different time zone. But thank you for being up with me. I truly appreciate it. I said I had 3 people on Instagram. It just went down to 2. Heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. So, out here in Puerto Rico, it's been super hot, and we just got this house, and I have not fully air conditioned the house. I got to put one of those things right there, the ones that go on. I don't know if you guys could see. That's the wall. I want to put a unit right there, but I haven't done that yet. And for me to put one in the window, I have to remove the bottom of the window because they got those flappy windows here. It's not just a regular window. But anyway, yeah. So I've had to move into the living room also because the cord for the Wi-Fi has not come in. So I'm in the living room doing all this stuff. But all right, guys, do you have any questions? I know there's a lag, so sometimes I ask questions. If I ask if anybody has any questions, and then I start moving on, and then a question pops up because there's a lag. But by the way, the author, the artist who did this guy's name is Paul. You have to check him out. His name is Sketchy Sermons on Instagram. Sketchy Sermons. He's a Christian artist, and man, he did such an incredible job on this. Look, he even made a little that's a little cartoon picture of me. Hold on, I'm gonna put it over here first. A little cartoon picture of me. Can you guys see it on Instagram? Little cartoon picture. So satisfied. I'm so satisfied. But All right. So, yeah, guys, the book is live. And question. All right. Mary asks, question: does the book describe actual stories of stories of deaths due to this nonsense? Yes. I go into detail about. There's a few deaths, about four of them that I mentioned in the book. Three of them were in a sweat lodge experience at a spiritual retreat, and another one was a woman believed. The woman in The Secret. Have you guys ever seen The Secret or read the book? Uh, the book The Secret. There's a woman who claims that she healed herself from cancer with her thoughts. That she healed herself from breast cancer, and in The Secret, she's like the epitome of how this works and how you can heal yourself of anything through your thoughts. And I remember at the time of me watching it, I have stomach issues, and at that time I was like, wow, so I could think my stomach issues away, and uh, I was so into it. And then when I was researching this stuff later on, I found out that she died. So she claimed that she healed herself from breast cancer, and then she later on died of breast cancer. And I was just so upset by it. I'm like, wow, nobody. She's still in The Secret. They didn't put a disclaimer at the bottom. You know, we live in a digital world now. Everything is streaming. You can change something about a movie like this. They didn't remove her from The Secret. They didn't remove her from the video. They didn't remove her from the book, or to even put a disclaimer that says later on she died. And I didn't even find any condolences from Rhonda Byrne or anybody from The Secret. The only reason I found that was by searching all of the people in the Secret. I was just searching to see what they're doing, and then I came across an article about the Miracle Man, who was married to that woman, Kathy Goodman, and just he, in passing, in his description, mentioned how his wife died of breast cancer. And I'm like, what? Hold up, no, nobody knows this. So yeah, I go into that in the book, um, and then I describe there was three people who died in a sweat lodge experience. They paid $10,000 for this experience, and then they died. It's crazy. The guy who ran it is in The Secret, still in The Secret, still doing motivational speeches, but he did 2 years in prison for negligent homicide. All right. MB says, congrats on the book, John. Listening from Nambia. Wow, that is incredible. I got to start going live at this time more often. I got my people from around the world hopping on here. That is incredible. So yeah, the deaths were pretty interesting. Oh, there's another one where a woman committed suicide during. Dang, I probably just demonetized this whole video. So a woman deleted herself. We'll call it that. On during one of these people's spiritual retreats and seminars. There's this one guy who's had a whole lot of crazy stuff happen. A woman broke her hand after they forced her to participate in like board breaking. Yeah, there's a whole lot of crazy stuff that happened. Congratulations, bro. I don't know why my nose is so itchy right now. Congratulations, Brother John. I really love the cover. What's the artist's name? So the artist's name is Sketchy Sermons. His name's Paul, but Sketchy. I'm looking over here as if the camera's not there. Sketchy Sermons. If you just go on Instagram, just at Sketchy Sermons. Another thing, Mary M. Does the book connect the New Age ideas with particular Word of Faith teachers? So I don't specifically correlate New Age ideas with Word of Faith teachers, but I do discuss Word of Faith and how similar it is to the Law of Attraction. So since the Law of Attraction is a New Age teaching, I guess you could say that I do correlate it, but I spend more time letting people know what they need to look for when they're in churches who might be talking about this stuff, or the name it and claim it type churches in which, Joel Osteen has a book called The Power of I Am. You don't get much more law of attraction-y than that, right? And the Word of Faith movement is connected to Phineas Quimby, who is considered the father of New Thought, which is a branch of this whole law of attraction, and you can heal your body with your thoughts. You can bend the universe to your will. He's one of the fathers in that. So E.W. Kenyon was influenced by, and this is something that they will deny, the Word of Faith people will deny, but he was influenced. A.W. Kenyon is the guy who started the Word of Faith movement. He was influenced by New Thought philosophy. He was going to Emerson College at the time when it was full of mystical and New Thought beliefs, and that bled into his theology. So yeah, there's a lot of ties between New Thought, New Age, and the Word of Faith movement. If you guys don't know what the Word of Faith movement is, it's people like Kenneth Copeland and Creflo Dollar and Joel Osteen, and these people who tell you that you have to always speak positive and stuff. It's the law of attraction, except they attach Jesus to it instead. All right. Checking to see if there's any more questions. What's up, Instagram? I know I've been neglecting you a little bit, but all right, I'll repost this in here. So I just posted the Amazon link to the book. You can find it, there's an ebook too. So you can find it on different ebook platforms as well. Like it's in Barnes and Noble and stuff like that. But the physical copies, you got to get them through Amazon right now. And so for everybody who pre-ordered, I'm waiting for my delivery, right? So the book is live, but I'm waiting for the delivery of, I ordered 200 pre-orders. So I ordered 200 books to send out to, I think we have like 150 something pre-orders. And then the rest I'm bringing to Vegas with me for the event that I'm doing. But really excited for that Vegas event, by the way. I'll be there with Ruslan and John McCrae. But anyway, so I'm like waiting for that stuff to show up so I can sign it and send it out. I'm probably going to go live as I sign all of the books, and I'm going to try to write a note for everybody that I personally know. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. Heidi says, congratulations. Thank you so much. Mary says, Kenneth Copeland said the New Age got their ideas from Word of Faith. Yeah, I would, Mary, I have my email on my Instagram. I mean, on my YouTube. If you could send me that clip of him saying that the New Age got their ideas from Word of Faith, I will be a very happy camper if you could do that. So please send that my way. That would be incredible, because that would be a good video to make. But so let me just tell you guys about the cover real quick. I'll show Instagram and here. So we did a flip cover, right? In which you see how it says law of attraction, then you flip it, it says gateway drug to spiritual heroin. So we did it in kind of a way where this is what, this is the spiritual drug dealer, this is the stuff that you're promised, but this is what you really get. This guy right here, and all of this stuff just deteriorating, right? So that you think you're getting some money. No, you're getting more addicted to the things that they're selling you. So yeah, we did a cool little concept like that. I'm telling you, the artist was awesome, and I love the way the book feels too. It's like super soft. What up, Swell? Swell, what are you doing up at 3 o'clock in the morning, Swell? I need to know. What are you doing up at 3 o'clock in the morning? Guys, if you don't know, Swell was in one of my favorite movies. He was in The Dark Knight Rises. The Christopher Nolan version, I mean, the Christopher Nolan trilogy of Batman. He was in the movie. That's like a dream come true. So he looks like The Rock, and he was in the movie. So he's technically, he could be the stunt double in every one of The Rock's movies, but, well, Dwayne Johnson now, I think he goes by. But he was in the movie, and I'm so jealous. If you guys go to his Instagram, he's got pictures of it, of him being in The Dark Knight. I'm envious of you in that aspect, Swell. Envious. So Swell's also a fellow comic book nerd. You remember, Swell, when I bought the Batman watch? We were at the 40/40 Club. So Swell and I were in sideline business together, and we always had events at the 40/40 Club for meetings and stuff. And I remember I bought this Batman watch, and I think he had the Superman one. But yeah, thanks, Swell. I think I've known you for like 10 years. So thank you for hopping on here, Swell. And don't forget to pick up the copy of the book. But all right, any more questions about the book before we continue? Got about 15 more minutes, and 15 more minutes of keeping my wife awake. So Swell says, I'm just reading it for you guys on YouTube that can't see it, but Swell says he still got his watch. I'm pretty sure I have mine somewhere. It was like a inexpensive watch, and people thought it was super expensive. That's how I like to do things. I like to buy stuff that's not expensive, that people think is expensive, and then I don't tell them anything about it. Say, yeah, thanks. My man. Congratulations on the book. Any chance of an autographed copy? So, as of now, I can't do any more autographed copies. I've just overwhelmed myself with autographed copies. And also, so this is a side note. If you see me in person, I'll definitely sign it, 100%. I have no problem doing that. But now all the sales are going directly through Amazon, so I don't even touch them. So I was able to pre-order. For all of the pre-orders, I was able to order that. But I'm not going to be able to physically send them. Also, if I was to have them all come here, shipping from Puerto Rico is more expensive. And I'm sending everything from Puerto Rico. So yeah, I don't have the ability to do any more signed copies. But if I ever see you in person, I would love to sign your book. And I would love to just see you in person. S.A. was one of the first people who came to my defense when I was coming at some of these false teaching people. Swell says, I still have the Clash t-shirts and sweater I ordered from you now. And now we'll be having the book. Thank you so much, Swell. Yeah, I had t-shirts with my face on it from a song that I dropped back in the day. I heard Copeland on the Christianity in Crisis book on tape years ago by Hank Hanegraaff. Book on tape. I'm going to screenshot this just so I can look that up. All right, screenshot. That's what I do. I screenshot things to look up. So are there any plans for an audiobook? My wife prefers that over flipping pages. Well, right now we have the ebook, so that's that. I do want to record an audiobook. The only reason that I haven't yet is because I need to get to a quiet place to do that. And Puerto Rico is not quiet. It is just not. Our house is not quiet. I have not soundproofed it yet. And so I do plan on doing it. If I can find a way to do it, it's actually pretty quiet right now. So if people can deal with coquis in the background, I could probably record it at night because it's super quiet, right? It's pretty quiet right now. You guys don't hear a lot of background noise, right? So I think I could record it just at night. I'd have to wait till after midnight because that's when this neighborhood goes to sleep and the dogs stop barking. But yeah, I think I could do it at night. You gave me an idea, Cordell. Thank you so much. You gave me an idea. I'm gonna I'm gonna work on that this week. It's a great idea. All right, we got about 13 minutes left, and we will be signing out. So if you guys have any more questions about the book, I will be happy to answer any questions. I'm out of water. I am out of water. So just a side note, as I wait for any questions to come in, if any are going to come in, um, we travel to. We just started doing this, but we travel to these natural springs out here in Puerto Rico. It's about an hour and a half away from us, and we get water from these natural springs. It comes from a cave and travels all the way down. And somebody tested the water, and it was an 8.0 pH, so it's alkaline, and also the purity is through the roof of the water. And they went and took it and got tested, and um, so now we go to the to up there in order to. Sorry, I'm like reading and thinking at the same time, which is not a good idea. And then we go up there and we get our water from there. So we come back with like gallons and gallons and gallons of this fresh water from the mountains. And so Gio, my wife, her grandfather's been drinking it forever, and dude's 92 years old and a bull. Like he's still running around doing work, driving everywhere, everything. So I'm like, man, if this guy been drinking this water for all these years and he's still going at this age, I'm gonna start drinking this water. So yeah, that's that. When will I be in Vegas? Mary asks, when will I be in Vegas? I will be there July 26th, either 24th or 26th. I'm pretty sure it's 26th. It's a Wednesday. Yeah, there's a Christian influencer conference, and in it we're just discussing on different ways where you can reach people with the gospel and with the good news, and talking about how you don't have to be on social media or anything to be an influencer. We all influence people every day of our lives, and so we want to discuss how we influence people to Christ, and how that can look. And me, Ruslan, and John McCrae are going to be talking about how that looks from a social media and YouTube perspective. So yeah, come to Vegas. I think the tickets are $40 or $50 or something. It's a full day event. Yeah, it's really cool. They're flying me out. I was blown away that I actually even made it on there. Apologia Center. What up, Arthur? You guys have to go follow Arthur's page. You have to go. That's on my Instagram. Somebody said just the fan noise still. Yeah, when I record, I'm definitely not gonna put the fan towards the microphone. But you guys got to go follow Arthur's page. He is one of the most incredible thinkers in the Christian YouTube space. Smart, smart, smart dude. It's got to be the beard and the hair. So Arthur is going to be in Vegas as well. He's planning on being there. So if you want to meet him, as well as me, come out to Vegas. We're going to have a blast. A lot of fun. I've been to Vegas so many times. So Vegas is the convention capital of the world. Any sales convention I've ever been to, or marketing convention, it's either Dallas or Vegas. Sometimes we've been to Tennessee. Sometimes we've been to other places. And I like going to other places because I like seeing other places. But yeah, I've been to Vegas so many times. And back in the day, before I was saved, I would gamble. And I lost a lot of money there. Now I don't gamble. It's not something smart I think about doing. But yeah, the thing in Vegas is going to be off the strip. So if you want to go see all those sites and stuff like that, it's not going to be where we're at. It's close to it, but it's off the strip. So yeah, you definitely want to come out there. And there's a lot of stuff to do in Vegas that is not like, I know it's called Sin City, which is exactly why we need a conference, a Christian influence in that area. But there's a lot of stuff to do out there besides gamble and the debauchery that goes on. It is a crazy place, though. Absolutely crazy place. But they have amazing shows, and they have some of the best food. And that's difficult to find, I think, in Nevada. And they have really cool sites. I would suggest going to the desert, go dune bashing. It's dune buggying or quad riding. My cousin, who's a pilot, he has a garage and he shares it with some people. And he had this dune basher, well, his friend did, and it goes like so fast. And we just took it through the desert to this ghost town where they have this like bar where you could get food and drinks and stuff. And it was just so cool. This was not the Vegas I was expecting. So yeah, definitely go explore all of that stuff. Oh, Mary says I'm going in June. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I will be. I'll be there in July. I'll be in Guatemala in June. So if you're in Guatemala, I'll sign your book. I'll sign it in Espanol. Come and tour down under. Down under. I would love to come to Australia. I was just watching this thing on funnel web spiders. So this lady was vacuuming and got a funnel web spider in her vacuum. You guys down in Australia, man, you are some savages. I do not know how you guys live with all of that. It's like everything in Australia is trying to kill you. Every single thing out there is trying to kill you. During the pandemic, your government was. Ooh, burn. Dang, I probably just demonetized this video again. But then you have all these animals and craziness. The wilderness out there is crazy, and crocodiles, and it's just bananas, you know. Australia is bananas. But I do want to go. I want to go. So we have lizards and these like flying termites and stuff like that that just show up out of nowhere. Not really in our house. Every now and then they come in the house. But we have lizards all in the backyard, and ants, though. There's ants everywhere. I spray for ants like every other day. You gotta keep a perimeter around the house. But that's all we got to deal with here in Puerto Rico. There are caiman out here, but they're nowhere near me. So you guys have the craziness. I've thought about living in Florida, and one of the things that stops me is alligators. Lives near Utah, Zion National Park. I have been, Mary. I've been to Zion National Park, and Zion National Park is beautiful. I have pictures of myself there that are just stunning. Stunning because I'm in them, you know. The scenery is nothing, but I'm in them. No, but it's so beautiful. Utah is gorgeous. So gorgeous. Wow, we have 14 people tuned in live at 3:55 a.m. That is bananas to me. 14 people on YouTube, one person on Instagram. That is crazy. I'm thirsty. I'm going to try to see what's left in here. In the desert. So where are all you guys from? I'm seeing all you guys. Just type in the chat where you're from. Where you're from originally and where you live now. I'm interested to know before we sign out. No water in that one either. Oh man. Yep. It's about that time. It's about that time. Australia. We got another Australia in the building. Australia. Shout out to Z Life from Australia. I really do want to go to Australia. Can't go there without my wife though. She will be so jealous if I did that. So definitely got to wait till we both have it in our schedule to go. Louisiana. Just moved to Oklahoma. Angel. Shout out to you, Angel. Louisiana. What part of Louisiana were you in? I have family in Baton Rouge. Well, friends of family in Baton Rouge. Just moved to Oklahoma. Nice. And then we have Melbourne, Australia. I had was building a sales team in Australia at one point. That was a lot of fun. I used to have to get on, because you guys are like a 12 or 13 hour difference. I used to have to be on sales calls at this time when I was doing that. Ooh, got my man Arthur, originally from Armenia. Don't get it confused with Armenians. They're Armenians, all right? And in Los Angeles. So that's another thing too. The history of the church in Armenia is so interesting to look into, and Arthur digs into that stuff on his channel, so definitely check him out. Oh, nice. Louisiana, Baton Rouge. I feel like everybody from Louisiana is from Baton Rouge. Yes, exactly what Mary says. Like the video and subscribe before you leave, everyone. And go get that book. Go get that book. Post it for me. That would be great. If you guys, if you just like put it in your story or something like that, I would greatly appreciate it. You don't have to go crazy, but as I said, I'm working on word of mouth here. That's how I built every business, pretty much, word of mouth. Maybe I'll pay for some ads. I don't even know really what I'm going to do as far as advertising. So word of mouth is the best way. I think about it like this. Every book that I've ever read has been because somebody told me to read it. It was never from a commercial. It was never from some advertisement that I saw pop up on Instagram or YouTube or anything. It was all word of mouth. So I am trusting in the Lord and in you out there to share the book. That's my ask of you, is to just share the book. And when you read it, to leave a review on Amazon or wherever you find the book. If you just Google it or something and it pops up different places, leave a review over there. Even if it's a bad review, I want people to know if this is a book for them or not. So I appreciate all of that. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbor's dog walker, tell everybody about it. So, all right, guys, with that being said, we are approaching 4 a.m. And my bed is calling me. So I'm going to sign out. Thank you all so much for hopping on here with me for this stream / launch party, real party. So quiet. Spending time with me and being on here. I really appreciate it. I wish I could express my gratitude for everybody who subscribes, everybody who's on the YouTube channel, tunes in, buys the book. I can't even begin. But just know this, I pray for you, right? I obviously don't pray for every one of you individually, unless you guys ask me for a prayer request, then I do that. But I pray for all of you guys all the time, because you guys are just incredible. And I call the YouTube ministry a mini-street. I wouldn't have any of that if it wasn't for you guys. So truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Oh, before we sign out, Cordell coming in from sunny South Africa. I want to go out there too. I have friends that are South African. So quick, before I sign off, when I was in Florida, when I lived there for a little bit, I stayed with a friend who was from South Africa. And funny, I now can tell the difference between somebody who's from Johannesburg, and because you guys have a specific accent, and I can tell the difference between you guys and then people from other places in South Africa. So it's funny. He had me saying bruh for everything for a while. Yeah, bruh. But yeah, so shout out to all the people from South Africa on here. I am looking forward to visiting one day. I definitely am. Have another friend from, I believe, Durban, I think, South Africa. Yeah. You guys have one of my favorite accents. You guys and Australians have my favorite accents. All right, guys, I'm going to sign out. Thank you so much for being on here. Spread the word. God bless. And tonight at 8 o'clock, p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have another interview with Miss Titus on urban apologetics. So that's going to be a much needed and very interesting interview. So don't miss that. It'll be right here on YouTube. So for those of you that are on Instagram and you're not subscribed to the YouTube yet, definitely go subscribe to the YouTube. I go live on there way more. I barely go live on Instagram. I barely look at Instagram. But yeah, Arthur, thank you so much. Just ordered the book. Thank you so much, Arthur. Yeah, I try to be logically consistent in the book, Arthur. So hopefully it's a good philosophical read for you as well. I tried to dive into a little bit of philosophy on there, but Arthur's really into philosophy. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. I'm going to sign out on Instagram first. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, right? And now over there, and I hope you guys get a good view of my hand. Share. Boom. I didn't even title that. All right. I'm going to have to title that. And for those of you guys on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys at 8 o'clock tonight, 8 p.m. EST. God bless. I'll see you on the next one.